I don't feel like there's any artist in particular that paved the way for female artists. I feel like all old MCs and female rappers paved the way. Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, Charlie Baltimore, Salt-N-Pepa. Like, I feel like they all paved the way for female artists. But my favorite would have to be Missy. I feel like she did something so different. She didn't have to have sex sell. She kept her clothes on. She kept it trill, and she rocked out. But I definitely feel like as of right now, Nicki paved the way for a lot of female artists to come up and not be afraid to be them. Now there's Dej Loaf. Now there's Iggy. There's so many upcoming female rappers now that they're more accepted. So I definitely feel like Nicki had a big impact, but I'm not gonna discredit those other female MCs and rappers in the past.
Don't know how you do the voodoo that you do so well. That's the style, make me wanna shoot, shoot, shoot. Hey.
Welcome to Blast from the Past with WorldWide Entertainment TV. This Thursday throwback includes a look at the past and current odd history between rap legends Salt-N-Pepa and the iconic Nicki Minaj. The love-hate situation seemed to start in 2016 with an interview by Salt-N-Pepa on the broadcast for Dirty, Sexy, Funny with Jenny McCarthy.
You guys, what do you think of music now? Like, what do you think of like the girls in hip hop and music now?
You know what? You gotta respect her. I think honestly she is talented, so you can't take that away from her. I mean, she's there, and the doors need. We always say it's need more females though, more voices.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And her sustaining shows that there's still room for more. It's not like there's like Iggy, she does her thing. And there's the Nicki, because what I
she always gets them, puts them together. No, I do it. I'm gonna take the fall.
The response of mixing up Nicki and Iggy seemed odd since on tour in 2013, the legendary ladies were asked if Nicki Minaj could have made it back in their day, and their answer was,
I think she has a lot of personality. She's a smart businesswoman, so yeah, she's talented.
It should be noted that the women praising Nicki Minaj as a female rapper that could make it in the heyday of Salt-N-Pepa is no small feat considering their rivals included MC Lyte, Roxanne Shante, Queen Latifah, in the 80s. This was followed by the 90s when they also competed with the likes of Foxy Brown and Lil Kim. Ironically enough, in a Vibe magazine 2010 interview, Peppa spoke of Nicki by saying, "She reminds me of Lil Kim. Bold and she's young." And a lot of people are like, "Oh, what do you feel about her because of the message?" But to me she hasn't learned the message yet. Salt-N-Pepa are old in the game. We started out a little raw, so after a little while I've learned and changed because my audience changed. And what happens when you have a male camp backing you? Yeah, you might be singing those kinds of lyrics. That's what happens when you have a male camp dictating how you should be. The Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj comparisons would go on till this day, as seen with our exclusive WorldWide Entertainment TV interviews.
Women have been a powerful voice in hip-hop with the likes of Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and so much more. Who is the greatest female rapper of all time?
It's between Lil Kim and Nicki. Lil Kim. I don't think we can have both.
Who would you say are your top 5 artists of all time and why?
Top 5 artists of all time, I would say Lil Kim, because I feel like she helped open doors for a lot of women.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really care about how anybody feels about what she say or how she moves. She just, she raw. She raw. Nicki, the same. Kind of paved the way for women to say, again, whatever they want to say in songs and not be looked at and be don't really care. Because that's how you feel, just like how a man gonna speak on his sex life, a woman should be able to do the same.
Lil Kim.
Lil Kim.
Yeah, that's my era. That's who Nicki wants to be or is. You know what I mean? Like that was her goat. I don't know if there is any comparison actually at all. And I love hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have to put like Lil Kim with probably a dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
That's to be Kim.
has to be Kim. Okay.
She's the originator.
I agree. She set the tone. I agree. But
Right? And that's the
this
thing. People
girl,
keep emulating her pictures, her style, her everything. You know what I mean? It just keeps coming back, and it's like, wow.
Now, this is what they said to The Sun. Nicki Minaj has led the charge among female rappers over the last decade, but she's not a fan of the current trend. Cheryl, who is known as Salt, says there was a long time when there were no women. There was a big gap, and then Nicki Minaj came out and she led the charge. Then all these women start following behind her, but there's only a certain type, and it's over-actual. They also said female rap actually favors a more conservative approach to fashion, especially in comparison of what we see now, like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion.
Some artists in the underground scene have felt this way, as evident with our exclusive interview with Toronto singer Alicia Cinnamon.
I'm not light-skinned enough to be considered exotic, but I'm not dark-skinned enough to be considered like strong, empowering, like that Lauryn Hill tip. So I find when you're a black woman, like, we have so many different dimensions and boxes that we're put into. It's like, if you don't fit one category, you don't work over here, and if you don't fit another category, you don't work over here. And overall, our voices are like barely ever heard, and the people that are in a position to tell our story are kind of masking it. So I found, like, for myself, it was I took it upon myself to be like, okay, there's nobody that's really telling, quote unquote, the brown skin girl story. So let that be my story, where it's like, you know, we are kind of boxed in these categories where we separate ourselves. Like, we're not empowering ourselves just as black women as whole. It's like there's this colorism amongst ourselves, and then society feeds upon that. So then the industry feeds upon that. So you have like the light-skinned woman that's being played up against the dark-skinned women in the industry. And for the most part, when you see the ones that are mostly publicized on the TV, it's usually the fair-skinned women or the women that look more European, and it's been happening from the dawn of time. But however, we as black women, as soon as we get in the industry, they tell us lighten up our skin a little bit, you know, change up our hairstyles, wear the contacts or whatever. So we are now allowing ourselves to conform to it, and I just feel like we need more women that are going to say, like, no, it's okay to be a strong black woman, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And I love that. I really, really love that.
But haven't you noticed that people don't call you a female MC? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's these titles that cats are kind of put on people.
Mm-hmm.
But when you speak of Nicki Minaj, people just say Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a brand that's right there that you already created.
Yeah, which feels great, because I never wanted to be categorized.
Right.
Like, that was my biggest fear. Like, my biggest fear was to come in the game and then be stagnated as just, female rapper from Queens. And then I could only, play, certain venues and, but now I feel like it's worldwide.
Yo, we're Salt-N-Pepa, live from New York.
Let us know your thoughts below and hit that notification bell after subscribing. Visit www.tvn.com.